Okay, so this is a video on how to download the free version of SCADTS. The free version enables you to become familiar with the software through the UI, and there's several videos that are available on the website scadtts.com. If you look at the videos, then these are the system responds the same way, but these are older videos, and so some of the UI has changed. But basically, just to understand how the system is set up, then they're still applicable. But just be wary that there's certain features that have changed. Now, if we go back to the home page, and it's from here that you can download the free version. So the first thing to do is select the download push button, and you come up with the Google Drive setup window. And if you select the download push button, then it says that the Google Drive has detected issues with the download. The file is too large, which it is, but download anyway. And all you're doing is downloading the MSI file to the download directory. So you can see from the icon when it finishes, and then you get a message saying that setup 9 MSI file has been created. Now, if we go to the files, and we can have a look at the download, we can see that setup.ms file version 9 is available. But we can't, at least I can't run it until I've uninstalled setup from the applications. Don't know why, but that's the way it is. If we go down to setup, uninstall it, and then select yes for making changes. Oh, yep, took a bit longer than usual. Okay, so the setup file has been uninstalled. Get rid of that. And then we can run the setup file. Once we select the setup file, then it says this might put your PC at risk. Just ignore that and request more info. And once you select it, then you can say run anyway. And the files get installed in Program Files 86 on the C drive, SCADTS in the setup directory. If you select next and select, do you want to allow this app from an unknown publisher to make changes to your device? Yes. And that's it. Now, so the files have been downloaded to your computer. So the first thing to do is to find them, and you go to the program files x86 and look for SCADTS. In SCADTS, there's the files. Now, if I go through the files list, you'll probably understand what we have here. The design document.pdf is a file that when you select theory on some of the pages on SCADTS, you'll download this file, and it gives the information as to how the differential equations are solved, what equations are solved, and also information related to particularly the multi-port valves and features related to the mathematical equations for pumps, etc. So it's worth going through that just to see how the system has been designed. The other main file is apart from the DLL, is the root project. This is the executable for that. There's two projects, root and SQL console.exe. This is the runtime project, and this is the Windows project. But before we do all that, then the XAMPP database needs to be installed. Now, either you can download the XAMPP database from the website. I think it's easy to find. The alternative is just to select this executable, and it will go through the installation process. At the end of the day, if you bring it up, it just says, do you want to make changes? And you run through the installation procedure. But since I've already got it, then I won't bother, but it's quite straightforward. And what it does, it creates an XAMPP directory here in the C drive at C XAMPP. And once you have that, then it also provides an icon for the server. Once you select that, then you can start and stop Apache and MySQL, and that's all that's necessary. Once it's in green background and you've started it, then the the server is running. But let's say that you're just starting. You've downloaded XAMPP the XAMPP server, and you have the control panel. You go into admin, and in your case, you won't have SCAT _001. So what you do, and I'll show you in this way. First of all, I'll drop the database, and this is what you'll have when you download XAMPP server. So the first thing to do is to create a new database, SCAT _001, create it, and then you need to import from the file that was downloaded. So you select import and choose a file, and the file to be chosen is SCAT _001.SQL. Open that up and then import it. Okay, in doing so, you're importing the latest version of the SCAT _001 database, and then that's compatible with the software that we downloaded. If you go back to the files that have been downloaded, then we've created the server for XAMPP, and these are the two projects, the Windows project and the SQL console, the runtime project. If you select the runtime project, then it comes up with a blank screen, but it's the runtime, so it's command mode. And then we create the Windows project, or start the Windows project. Once we have that, then everything is now set up and we can run through the system. The first thing you may recognize is the account. It's an anonymous account. Sign in, and we have the projects associated with the anonymous account. There are several others. There are other accounts, but this is the one that I've been using primarily. And if we select the first project, then having selected it, this is current, and that's what's being used. And we select the system, and we select the circuit. Once you select the circuit, then the topology is displayed here. And the first thing we'll do is go into control mode, and there's a one-to-one correlation between the circuit and the control. So we go into runtime on and start on the circuit, and we can see that if we go into the circuit state, we can see that it's in runtime. And if we go back to the circuit, then we can see the nodes in the system, and we can also see the links. In this case, we have to go back to the controls and then see the links from the circuit. Yeah. Okay. Now, if we go to circuits and then bring up the circuit page, we can annotate the circuit drawing with information from the simulation. So, for instance, node 2, we can see the pressures, the temperatures, the control volume, the mass fraction, the enthalpy, and the heat transfer into the node. On node 3, we can see the pressure, and the same thing again. Node 4, and node 5. Now the information on node 5 is slightly different because this is a pressure source, and we can adjust the pressure by selecting the field and then right clicking. And say, for instance, we want to make it 80 psi, then it changes accordingly. And if we want to look at and we can see the changes in pressure. So for instance, we make it 60 psi and look at the pressure changes on the system. I'd say node 3, so it changes immediately. And conservation of mass and momentum is maintained. So if we look at the links, let's say link 2. Oops. Link 2. Okay, so we got a negative flow rate. The normal direction of flow is from left to right. But because it's negative, it's going in the reverse direction, and this is as a result of the pressure from from this boundary condition. And I believe that the valve is open. I can check that by looking at link 4. Yeah. So the valve is open. The flow rate is 39 pounds per second, and the pressure here is such that we get a reverse flow through the pump, even though the pump hasn't started. Yeah. So that will be the case. If we start the pump, sorry. Okay, so then as a result of the pump starting, we now get a positive flow rate together with the flow rate through here. So we get around about 42, 43 pounds per second. And if we look at, say, 5, that's 10. So we look at 7. Yeah, so the valve's open. And if we can close that, and still only 15, so this valve must be open. 6. Yeah, that valve's open, so we can close that. And then we have 24 pounds per second, 19 from here, and 5 from there, so it's around about 24. So the graphic is a really good means of identifying what's happening in the system. The information is available across the system, and you can delete or add information as you want. There is information other than nodes and links. There's tanks, pistons, multi-port valves, and transformers. But in this case, we just need the nodes and the links. Okay. The other thing is that you can add plots. So, for instance, let's say we wanted to plot 3. So add to the plots, and we've already got several. I'll delete all. Go back to the nodal diagram and do that again. So yeah, add 3 plots. So we got the one there, and in order to be able to plot it, give it an index greater than 0, and select the plot, and select the stop dynamic or start dynamic. Then we get the grid, and now the value is 43 psi, but the range is 0 to 1.1, so we're not actually seeing it, but we can change the maximum to say 50, and suddenly we can actually see the pressure in its steady state. Now if we go back to the nodal diagram, and let's say we want to stop the pump, and if we look at the plots, then we can see the sudden change in the pressure at node 3. And that's the case for up to 8 plots that you can select. You can add to the list, but there's a limit of 8 as it stands at the moment. So that's basically the way the system is set up. It's slightly different from the videos I said on the website, but I'll be updating those in the future. That's about it. So if you have any comments to make, if there's any issues that you find out, then just send me a message on the website and I'll look into it. It may be that something crops up that I hadn't anticipated, although I've covered most, if not all cases. But if you have a problem, then just send me the database in the form of a text file, and then I'll look into it. Thank you very much. Appreciate your help.